Alright, so, as I said before, I will be trying to do a race review. Well, that's what I'm calling it. Maybe I need a better name. Maybe I'll get one eventually. I don't know. For now, it's race review. So, as I said in my previous video, I'm basically going to discuss penalties from the previous week and then the weekend's race. So, from the previous week, Hamlin's penalty was upheld, which was 25 points and $50,000 for wrecking Chastain. And I think that's a good thing, because he purposely wrecked somebody. I think that needs to be upheld more. Next, KBM, so Kyle Busch Motorsports, was penalized for engine oil reservoir tank violations. No idea what that's supposed to be, so I'm not going to talk about it very long. But it's 10 points to them and their affiliate team, so that would be the 4 of Chase Purdy, the 51, just whoever's in it at the time, just the 51 truck, and then the 2 of Nick Sanchez. They are not going to appeal that. Like I said, don't really know anything else. Byron and Bowman were also penalized after their cars were taken to R&D for greenhouse violation. I don't know. Apparently they were growing plants wrong. Once again, something to do with the car that I don't really know about. Fined 60 points, 5 playoff points, and $75,000 each. And Hendrick is not appealing that. So now for the race weekend. First off, Logano won the truck race dominantly. Okay. Not surprised. It's fine, I guess. So, Matt Crafton, who normally drives, I believe, the 88 truck, was in for Cody Ware in the Cup race. And we now know that that is because Cody Ware has been arrested. You can find more details for that pretty much anywhere that does NASCAR news, I would assume. I'm not going to go further into it. But Ware has been indefinitely suspended, so yeah, that's spicy. Was not what I was expecting happened, but it's interesting. Chase Briscoe, driver number 14, still has, a broken, I believe, left middle finger. And still drove a truck and cup race. And did well. Like, pretty well. I don't feel like that's the smartest decision, but I mean, hey, if he can make it work, go for it. And I mean, yeah, just doesn't feel like the smartest decision. Especially everybody will think you hate them. Like, inconvenient finger to be broken. So, now for the actual cup race. And so many people spun, I'm just going to list them. Crafton, Davenport, Suarez, Chastain, Allmendinger, Larson, Hamlin, Gregson, Yeley, LaJoie, Busch, and Keselowski 2 times. All spun at some point. In some way. Oh, and Blaney, but I'm going to talk more about that at the end. Because more impactful wrecks kind of got their own thing. Eric Jones and Michael McDowell also both did a 360 and just kept going, which was incredibly cool. They should do that more. Like at Talladega. Oh, McDowell did it twice. I don't know how, but he pulled it off. And also Ty Dillon, Wallace, Gregson, Larson, Briscoe, and Austin Dillon all hit the wall at some point. Like, just hit it on their own. As did Priest, but once again, I will get more into that. So, now for the bigger wrecks, and also just, like, I would include spins on their own, but so many happened that, yeah. So, Wallace spun And actually, yeah, so I guess I should have just left Wallace down here. But whatever. Bubba Wallace spun, and in the process, Logano, Byron, and Gilliland all got collected. This was on lap 11. And Logano just continued to have issues throughout the race. And on lap 96, some sort of issue. I don't think they ever actually said what. But there was smoke coming out of his car, and he ended up out of the race. That was not on anyone. Well, okay. It was not intentionally on anybody. Like, there was nothing that anybody did wrong. It was just Wallace just lost it. Everybody else had nowhere to go. Josh Berry, who is substituting for the still out Chase Elliott, Josh Berry and Denny Hamlin on lap 75 wrecked. Hamlin, I believe it was that wreck, ended up with some pretty bad damage. Berry got out fairly okay-ish. And they both ended up back towards the front at the end. I'm not really sure where Hamlin ended up finishing. So then, lap 79 is where some of the more spicy stuff happens. Kyle Larson, I don't think it was intentional, but he bumps the left front of Ryan Preece's car with his right rear. And Preece gets the wall pretty good. They were both up front doing really well. So, like 100 laps later, or something like that, I'm pretty sure. I don't know exactly, I didn't put that down. Ryan Preece then bumps Kyle Larson again, coming out of a turn. And then Larson bumps him back. Like, just the sides, like, hitting each other's doors. But Larson spins when he hits Preece. And, unfortunately ended up collecting Davenport too, who, by the way, he is a dirt racer. This was a one-off race for him. It sucks that got caught up in other people's stupidity. It ended both Larson and Davenport's races. But it was dumb. It was unnecessary. Preece and Larson both said it was an accident, and I don't believe either of them. If you watch the clip, like, Preece clearly wasn't happy. He bumped Larson, and then Larson turned left on a straightaway. You can't hide that. Personally, I think somebody should be penalized. But I don't really know who. But I mean, NASCAR's probably weird and they'll penalize Davenport for it or something. I don't know. But yeah, that is a thing that did happen. I think they were both wrong. I think it was an accident at first. They could have let it go. I think they both made poor decisions. Late race restart. Blaney's back in position to maybe win. Briscoe hits the apron and spins him. It wasn't intentional. It's just Blaney just is physically incapable of winning. And, like, that's not a skill problem. It's just, like, the world will just not let him win. So, this is where... this makes me very mad. So, late race, everybody's pushing. Christopher Buescher gets into the back of Daniel Suarez. Suarez spins. I don't think it was intentional. I think it was just, like I said, everybody was pushing. Like, last lap. Well, I think it was, like, second to last lap. Anyways. Chastain, Berry, and Preece all are involved. Which is very upsetting about Berry. Preece, it's kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie. After everything that happened. And then somehow... So they're on the bottom of the back straightaway. Somehow Chastain ends up in the top of turns 3 and 4. Like, middle of the back, well, the bottom area of the track on the middle of the back straightaway to the top of the track in 3 and 4. And I ended up bringing out a caution because the leaders were coming in. Reddick was actually about to try to make a move in last turn, last lap on Christopher Bell. Didn't work out. It sucked. Honestly, well, okay. Just, if you didn't figure it out, Bell won the race, Christopher Bell. And Kyle Larson and Tyler Reddick won stages 1 and 2, respectively. None of those three, that's not surprising at all. All three of them are good on dirt. I would not be surprised if you had told me all of that a week ago. Realistically, the racing itself was pretty good, in my opinion. When they were not wrecking, I actually enjoyed the race. And realistically, like, I'm glad. I feel like the wrecking wasn't too excessive. I'm glad NASCAR did not call a caution for every single wreck. There were some that I probably didn't need a caution, like Kyle Busch's spin, and some that probably should have been, like Ryan Blaney's spin. But other than that, like, it was a pretty good race. I enjoyed it until, like, the last 15 laps. But, yeah, honestly, I think we should keep Bristol dirt. That's just me. Like, it wouldn't kill us to keep one dirt race on the schedule, at least, like, even if it's not Bristol. I enjoy having more variety, you know? But, yeah, let me know what you think about Bristol dirt. And, yeah, that's it for this week's race review. So, if you enjoyed, subscribe to see more of these. And I will see you guys next time.